This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today. What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for July 17th, 2026. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a feel-good Friday edition of the podcast. Stay safe out there. Man, the air quality is absolutely horrible. Quick programming note, too, from yesterday. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi down here or whether it's a glitch in Riverside, which is the platform I use as the studio, but not sure if you're watching the video. There was no border. There's always been a border, kind of like a spectrum-like color combination, and could not figure out how to get it there. They couldn't figure out how to get it there, so that's why I looked plain yesterday. But let's get into it. We got a big show here on a Friday, and completely blew my mind, or slipped my mind, I guess, that Phillies did play yesterday, and 4-1. And look, I know I saw online and I see everybody ripping Nola. Oh, he gives up meatballs. Yes, he does. That's Nola get death taxes and Aaron Nola giving up a home run, guaranteed. But 3 solo shots and you manage 4 hits. That is not on Aaron Nola. If you can tell me Aaron Nola is going to go 6+ innings and give up 3 runs from here on out the rest of the season, I will take that. I don't care if it's 1 3-run homer, 3 solo shots like it was yesterday. I'll take that. What I can't have is the offense coming out and scoring 4 or having 4 hits and scoring 1 run. Now, I know Schwarber's homer, just a little bit of bad luck, that goes out, that changes the whole complexion of the game. I get it. Mattingly probably left Nola in slightly too long, going with 90 pitches there, but again, you can argue with me in this if you want, but if Nola's going to give up 3 runs every start from here on out, I will take that compared to where he was earlier this season. So I can't put this one on Aaron Nola. And again, and with the way news came out that Brad Keller is out for the season, torn ligament in his elbow. So now all of a sudden the bullpen becomes a pressing issue. So if that's the kind of start you're going to get every time Aaron Nola goes out on the field, or takes the mound, I take that, and we're going to need it. But I can't have the offense coming off the All-Star break, being well-rested, having 4 hits. And that's different. So nobody used the smoke as an excuse. And it doesn't matter because everybody played in it. But you can't do that. They're off today, finish out the rest of this weekend. And usually it seems like when they have these split weekend series, they do well in the second half of them anyway. So I don't know if they kind of just pack it in knowing they have a day off or what. But yeah, I can't put that one on Nola at all. I really can't. And he's been, ever since the one start where everybody thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? He's been solid. And if you take that one anomaly start out of there, he's not been bad since the beginning of the season. So if that, again, come at me, 267-495-8531. That's the Back to the Future voice and text line if you disagree, but I can't put that on Nola one bit. We're heading into the weekend, still trying to figure out what LeBron James is going to do. I spoke at the Fanatics Fest yesterday and essentially teased every team that possibly he'd be going to, except for Cleveland. So I don't know, people were taking that as a sign. And look, he's going to announce when he's ready. And I said this yesterday, I will always say it. LeBron James is all about what's best for LeBron James. So he's going to drag this out, and it's going to be this spectacle. And if he does sign here, again, from a basketball perspective, I want that as a Sixers fan. From a player perspective, in my opinion, he will never be in the GOAT conversation. He will never be up there with Michael and Kobe because of things like this. Just, what team you're going to. Just say it. Like, now you're holding up the entire league. Adam Silver said yesterday, I need him to make a decision so we can kind of figure out scheduling and things like that. It's ridiculous. And again, I'm talking strictly from a basketball standpoint. I want him on the Sixers team. From the other stuff, it is what it is. I mean, I think, and again, come at me with the LeBron GOAT questions. That's completely fine. I'll be willing to argue that, but I would take Michael or Kobe any day if I'm building a championship team over LeBron. All that being said, he signs here. He's not going to be my favorite player. Not going to go out and buy a LeBron jersey. But from a strictly basketball standpoint, yes, please. Yes, please. And I completely, again, missed this. It's what happens when I'm on vacation. I miss things. But LeBaron Feinlein had another solid, I guess it's the Sixers' last one because they're 2-2. I don't know if they have a fifth game coming up. It's hard to read the schedule on NBA, ESPN, any of the sites, but at 15, 6, and 6. So I'm excited. I mean, like I said, if we can get LeBron from a basketball standpoint, yeah, like let's do it. From an everything else standpoint, yeah, it is what it is. All right, yesterday's trivia question. Aaron Judge is the fastest player in Major League Baseball history to 300 home runs, 955 games. Now, there was, I did see this online, full transparency. I always thought it was Ryan Howard. In fact, it was Ryan Howard who was the fastest 300 a couple years ago. I guess as they were looking through some box scores and things like that, they found that it in fact was Ralph Kiner. So make of that what you will. I guess if you want it to be accurate, it was Ralph Kiner, then Ryan Howard. But either way, Aaron Judge is the fastest to 300 home runs. Some quick housekeeping notes. Be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at Philly Jimbo. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel at Philly Jimbo as well. All of that helps the algorithm out. Check out the Philly Hall. Steve and I talk about his World Cup experience. And then hopefully, once I can get access to it, I'll do something with the All-Star talk from last week. But most importantly, spread the word. Word of mouth is the best way. If you're enjoying this, likely someone in your network is as well, or would as well.
Turn heads and bring the hype with a custom hype chain from Lotwin. Perfect for youth sports, fantasy football, or just flexing your pride. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD for 10% off your order. That's Lotwin.com, promo code TCCPOD for 10% off. Get your custom hype chain and get hype with Lotwin.
All right, July 17th. First, we're going to go back to 1918, the Wayback Machine. Phillies lose to the Cubs 2-1 in Chicago. Cubs scored in the bottom of the first. Phillies scored in the top of the fourth, and then the game was scoreless for the next 17 innings. The Cubs ended up walking it off in the bottom of the 21st inning. It is to date the longest game innings-wise in Phillies history. Quick fun fact about this game. Phillies pitcher Milt Watson and Cubs pitcher Lefty Tyler both pitched complete games. So they all went the distance, or both went the distance in a 21 inning 2-1 win, Cubs over the Phils. And then we're going to fast forward all the way up to 1992. Phillies beat the Dodgers 11-3 at the Vet. Dave Hollins went 3 for 4 with a homer and 3 RBI. John Kruk added 3 RBI. Dalton had a homer as Curt Schilling got the complete game win, 11-3 over the Dodgers. The Phillies sent 9 hitters to the plate in the 6th inning, scored 3 runs without a hit, 3 walks, 3 errors. Phillies get 3 runs without even getting a hit, 9 batters. You got to really try to do that. But that happened on this day in 1992. And fast forward to 2007, Phil's Dodgers again. This time, Phil's win it 15-3 in LA. Ryan Howard hit 2 home runs. Pat Burrell and Aaron Rowan also went deep. But Aaron Rowan, for him, it was part of a 4-for-5 day with that homer, 3 doubles. He did the same thing 3 days prior against the Cardinals, and he joined Joe DiMaggio as the only players in Major League Baseball history with 4 extra base hits in a game twice within a week. To show you even more how rare that feat is, only 4 other players have done that twice in a season. So that's 4 extra base hits in a game. Aaron Rowan, Joe DiMaggio did it within a week of each other. And then only 4 other players, including Phillies' Chuck Klein, did it in a season. So pretty damn good week for Aaron Rowan, if you ask me. And then fast forward to 2008, Phil sent 3 prospects to the Oakland A's for Joe Blanton, Heavy B himself. He started opening day for the A's, and this was a huge addition for the Phils. Essentially replaced Adam Eaton, who is one of my most despised Philly athletes of all time. But Joe went 4-0 with a 4.20 ERA in 13 starts for the Phillies down the stretch. But more importantly, he was 2-0 in the postseason, including Game 4 of the World Series, where the offense exploded on the Rays. Heavy B got into the action as well, hitting a home run. And overall, his entire career, he was pretty solid for the Phillies. Even when they had the 4 aces, it was like the 4 aces and Joe Blanton. But he injuries caught up with him. But he certainly, this was a huge trade deadline acquisition for the Phils as they would go on to win the World Series. Dombrowski, what do you got up your sleeve for this year? But that does lead us into today's trivia question. We got an interesting one. Joe Blanton obviously did it in 2008, but what other Major League pitchers have hit home runs in the World Series? Hit me up on the Back to the Future voice and text line, 267-495-8531. Any of my social media platforms, as well as the Discord channel, which the link to that is in the description. Come over. Let's talk some Philly sports.
It's time for Fridays with AI, where we ask AI to rewrite Philly sports history. Every Friday, only on This Day in Philly Sports History.
That's right. It is Fridays. Time for Fridays with AI, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Check out their wide selection of Philly sports-based apparel. They got you covered. They got the great Schwarbino shirt that just came out. Love that shirt. A little nod and an homage to the All-Star game where they did the Sandlot recreation. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. All right, so we're going to finish up our look at the 66, 67 Sixers to see kind of where they rank all time. Going to put them up against this year's NBA champion, the Knicks, and see kind of does it translate to modern day NBA. To kind of recap, the 66-67 Sixers have lost to the 82-83 Sixers, the 95-96 Bulls, and the 16-17 Warriors. Both of those series went 7 games. The Sixers series went 6. They beat the 85-86 Celtics and the 86-87 Lakers. But again, let's see how they fit into today's modern day. And this is the ultimate clash of styles. You have a 3-point heavy floor spacing team like the Knicks versus the power basketball of the 60s. So let's start game 1 in Philly at Convention Hall due to the Sixers having more wins. And the Knicks did what the Knicks do. They forced the Sixers to defend the perimeter. Wilt still had his 29 and 18 rebounds. But the Knicks' balanced attack, led by OG Anunoby, was key in this game. The spacing was tough for the Sixers to match up. Game was close, though, but OG with a steal late shifted the momentum. Jalen Brunson had 27 points, 9 assists as the Knicks steal game 1, 105-102, getting home court advantage back. And if you're wondering, AI did cover this, said there were some Knicks fans in the house, but the old school Sixers fans showed up and made sure that it was a true home game for the Sixers. Game 2, The Sixers tried to go to their bread and butter, force it to Wilt Chamberlain. Turned out well for Wilt, 36 points, 30 rebounds, but the Knicks had too much depth for the Sixers to handle. They shut down the Sixers shooters and made life difficult for Chet Walker and Hal Greer. But again, this game was still very close, but a late 7-0 run led the Knicks to seal this game late. Jalen Brunson had 32, OG had 23, as the Knicks win at 107-98. Heading to Madison Square Garden, up 2-0. They stole both games in Philly. And then, of course, back to Madison Square Garden for Game 3. Their backs were against the wall. Of course, the crowd was hostile, but the Sixers made their adjustments, took control from the start, and proved why they were an all-time great team. They slowed the pace down. Chet Walker and Hal Greer combined for 46 points as the Sixers took control in the third quarter. Hal Greer ended up with 28 points and 8 assists. Wilt 18 and 17, but was a facilitator down low, making sure. And the perimeter defense for the Sixers was outstanding. They made life difficult for the Knicks. Sixers cruised to a 119-110 win to cut the lead to 2-1. Game 4. This was all Sixers again. They shot 56% from the floor and did not miss inside. Knicks couldn't get a rhythm going because of the way the defensive shifts were for the Sixers. By the fourth quarter, both benches were emptied as the Sixers win at 123-108. Wilt with 30 points and 21 rebounds, most of them in the first 3 quarters. So both away teams winning both games. The series shifts back to Convention Hall for a pivotal Game 5, and Sixers dominated at home. OG Anunoby did have 33 points, but the Sixers team chemistry was on full display. Mikal Bridges got into foul trouble, and then 3 straight steals late in the fourth quarter put the Sixers up by 15, and they cruised to a 116-101 victory. Chet Walker had 23, Wilt 25 points, 22 rebounds. The series shifts back to Madison Square Garden, where the Sixers haven't lost yet. But the Sixers were looking to close it out, and the crowd was on fire. And again, the Sixers were feeling good after winning 3 in a row. But the Knicks responded with their best game of the series. But this game was back and forth. These teams were pretty evenly matched despite the clash of clashing conferences. The clash of styles came down to the last possession. Everybody in the building knew Jalen Brunson was getting the ball. He drew a double team, kicked it out to OG on the wing for the game winner. Knicks win at 122-121. Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Wilt, 29 and 20. Hal Greer and Luke Jackson both scored over 20 for the Sixers. Karl Anthony Towns, though, with 26 for the Knicks. Finally got a cat sighting here in this series, setting up a winner-take-all Game 7 back at Convention Hall. High pressure. Both teams felt it. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but Wilt made his presence felt. 5 blocks, but it was still back and forth. Knicks were down 2 with 14 seconds left when Karl Anthony Towns missed a jumper to tie it. Luke Jackson grabbed the rebound, sealing the game for the Sixers. They win at 117-115. Wilt 28 and 14 to go with those 5 blocks. Karl Anthony Towns with 27. Jalen Brunson with 23. Chet Walker and Luke Jackson scored 20 again. The MVP of the series was Wilt Chamberlain. And essentially this was AI's take. It cemented Wilt's legacy as one of the all-time greats in the game. We said it last week. We'll say it again. He's error-proof. He can go into any era and dominate and be a very good NBA player. And the Sixers, to their credit, good coaching. Alex Hannum was able to make the adjustments throughout all of the series when they needed it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. AI said, we need to have more games. AI said in order to put the Sixers up there as one of the all-time great teams, they didn't play anybody in any of these series from the 2000s. So they played some of the best from, well, obviously they were from the 60s. They didn't play anybody from the 70s, but that's okay. They played the best teams from the 80s. They played Jordan's 90s Bulls. They played Steph and Kevin Durant's Warriors, but they didn't play anybody from the 2000s. So AI suggested to really get a full picture, we're going to have to extend this for 3 more weeks. They're going to play the 03-04 Pistons, the 2000-2001 Lakers, and the 13-14 Spurs to get a fuller picture of where this team. So buckle up. We got 3 more. It's like the groundhog. We got 3 more weeks of the 66-67 Sixers. I know Uncle Roach out there is enjoying this. So we'll put them against those 3 teams, and then we'll kind of get a clearer picture about where that Sixers team ranks. But that is Fridays with AI, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. But again, the Sixers team, they have been adjusting through this series, and it's kind of funny because as I've been putting it and playing out these games, AI's kind of getting a clearer picture and really highlighting the adjustments that the Sixers coaching staff has made. And then finally today, our greatest Philly high school hoops figure tournament. We go to the well, first of all, it's brought to you by Beach Caddy. Go to beachcaddy.app. If you're in Stone Harbor, Avalon, Sea Isle, Wildwood, and Ocean City, they got you covered. They'll move you in, move you out, take that stress away. Best beach carts on the Jersey Shore. Sand is hot. Nobody wants to do it. They glide across the sand. So use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your move in, move out, as well as your beach cart rental. That's beachcaddy.app, promo code Jim Montgomery. All right, so yesterday's result from the North Regional, no real surprise. Dawn Staley moves on 100% of the vote, knocking out my guy, Guy Rogers. But today and over the weekend, this is round 4 maybe, of these two going at it. Go to the Suburban Regional with a 1-4 matchup. Coatesville contingent is going to have to be out in droves for this one. But Kobe Bryant versus Rip Hamilton. Let's start with Kobe, Lower Merion, PIAA 4A champion. First time Lower Merion won it in 53 years. He was 2-time Pennsylvania Player of the Year. His number 33 is retired at Lower Merion. He was the Naismith, Gatorade, and USA Today National Player of the Year, McDonald's and Parade All-American. He was the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game. From there, he went to the NBA, where he was a 5-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP, won the league MVP once, 18-time All-Star, MVP of the All-Star game 4 times, All-NBA First Team 11 times, 9-time All-Defensive First Team, and 2-time scoring champ. Taking on Rip Hamilton from Coatesville, graduated as their all-time leading scorer. He, too, was a McDonald's All-American. He was Parade second-team All-American. He played in the Magic Johnson Round Ball Classic, was the number 18 recruit, All-Pennsylvania team, and just essentially him and Kobe battled in Pennsylvania for 2-3 years as for the best player. They actually were good friends. They had a nice friendly rivalry. His number 32 is retired at Coatesville. From there, he went to UConn, where he was All-American, national champion, most outstanding player of the tournament, 2-time Big East Player of the Year, 2-time All Big East. His number 32 is also retired with UConn. Played with Michael Jordan his first few years in the NBA, won a championship with the Pistons where he was the leading scorer on that team, 3-time All-Star. He's in the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, Philly Sports Hall of Fame, and Chester County Sports Hall of Fame. Now it's your turn. Who moves on, Kobe Bryant or Richard Hamilton? We got a doozy of a matchup here today in the Suburban Regional. Trying to keep my bias out of this, but Coatesville contingent, if you want your guy to move on, you got to be out in droves this weekend. So get your vote in any way you can. Back to the Future Voice and Text line, 267-495-8531. Any of my social media, well, maybe not smoke signals today. There's too much smoke in the atmosphere, but carrier pigeon, all of that is fair game. But Kobe Bryant, Richard Hamilton, who moves on in the greatest Philly high school hoops figure tournament? Let me know your thoughts, too, on the 66-67 Sixers. Where do you see them ranking? I mean, I think we're getting a clearer picture of it. So I'll take it. 2008 Phillies trade for Joe Blanton ends up being a great move for them down the stretch, and especially in the postseason. Heavy B with the home run in Game 4 of the World Series. 2007, Aaron Rowan has his second 4 extra base hit game within a week, joining Joe DiMaggio as the only player in Major League Baseball history to do it twice in a week. Phillies beat the Dodgers in 1992, sent 9 players to the plate in the 6th inning, scored 3 runs without getting a hit. And then the Phillies play a marathon out in Chicago, their longest game in franchise history, 21 innings, losing to the Cubs 2-1. We'll be back on Monday to rewind the weekend like we always do. We'll recap the rest of the Phillies Mets series, as well as will he or won't he? Where's he going? LeBron James, does this drag into next week? God, I hope not. We also have the Union starting back up next week. Remember them? Hopefully the World Cup break did wonders for their poor season, and they can turn it around here in the second half. But be safe out there. The smoke is absolutely insane. You can just smell it when you go outside. But this has been This Day in Philly Sports History for July 17th, 2026. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a feel-good Friday and a great weekend. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.